Greetings. First and foremost, I want to say thank you. Um, my name is Primal Sun with the Primal Sun Foundation. These are going to be our teachings and what we have to bring forth and offer to the world, to you and the world within you, and the world around you and outside of you. So, I want to start off by saying that what we're going to present here, the Primordial Blueprint, is based off of what we have learned in our life from all directions and all elements and all fundamental teachers that cradle this existence. So what is most important to know here is that the primordial blueprint is not based off of idolship, is not based off of worship, is not based off of um, having to subscribe yourself to some sort of god or demigod or any image of what the creator of the source within you looks like. This is a teaching based on our ancestors and the ancient ways, the ancient elements, and the ancient traditions, and the ancient knowing and wisdom of how to most benefit from our earth plane existence and our universal existence, as well as we are spirits within the body in this earth plane. And our life is basically unfolding in a way for us to really harmonize where we come from and where we're going and where we are now. So understanding that, we can see that we exist in many different levels and dimensions, and we exist in many different timelines and spaces. But the most important thing is to realize that we exist because of the earth and its teachings and what we came here to learn. So this memory that we have now of ourselves, we are actually being granted that through the earth's memory. So thank you. And this is my first time recording a video in this way that'll be for an extended period of time. So I'm still learning to look at the camera. I'm still learning to not look off the camera. I'm not even sure which one actually works best, but I'm going to do my best here to deliver this first video. And the fundamental question here is, what is the primordial blueprint? What is it? And I have some notes here based off of that, and I'm just going to share it right now. So the primordial blueprint is a blueprint or a map for your entire life, for the lessons that you are going to be learning and maybe have learned or are experiencing right now. It is a collection of all that because they all come from the fundamental teachers, which are the elements and the four directions. So each element in this blueprint has a direction and it has an archetype for that direction. Now, this archetype will be the image that we can put to the direction, because that's how we might be able to relate more as far as the story timeline and what we already know and what we've already learned. So again, each direction has an archetype and an element. Deeper into this, each element also actually has an animal, but we're going to take this step by step. We're just going to begin here with a very basic fundamental of this teaching. So the primordial blueprint is a collection of all archetypes that exist within man. These archetypes, directions, and elements are the main teachers in our life. They all have a technique, a teaching, a strength, and a power. Throughout our life, we are meant to experience all that we need to complete our soul journey and mission. We call this primordial because the elements that cradle our existence on this planet are the teachers we have been looking for. We as humanity have a tendency to idolize and worship due to the Kali Yuga that we're in, the age of darkness, the age of ignorance, the age of deceit. Because so we have a tendency to idolize and worship because of this. But truly, all of these idols are not needed if we get to the source. So the fire which transforms us, the water that heals us, the earth that helps us grow, and the air, which allows us to let go. Now, these are very basic fundamental teachings of each element. Now, with each element, there's an archetype that shares similar attributes within you. Everything is within you. The primordial blueprint is already within you. There is no need to choose a side when all the sides stem from within the very center. Do you see? This is a blueprint to bring you into the center of your being so that you can experience all directions in its purity and highest intent. What we see as separate emanates from the middle. The sun shines from within. You can do anything with this understanding. Explore all your life with knowing you are supported by life itself, and all the experiences pertain to a side of you looking to become whole. Okay, so this is the primordial blueprint. Now I just want to go based off of something right here that says and it says here, so what we see as separate emanates from the middle. So each element, each teacher, fire, earth, air, and water, none belong to each other, or none of them are better than one another. They are all respectfully a pillar that is only allowed to be through the creation itself. So through the creation, through the source has given us these four elements that create our life. Now, how do you know these four elements create our life? And if you're new to this awareness, well, simply think of it like this: what do you really need to live? It's not money. It's shelter, which the earth gives us, with trees that make the woods, that make the 2x4s that build your house. Okay, so the earth provides shelter. There are many indigenous practices and ways to build a home without modern homes that we build now. They've been building houses for a long time in very different ways. But you don't even actually in your home see that inside of the walls, because it's drywall and sheetrock, that inside of the walls is actually the wood that is still supporting you without you even knowing it. So, and for the earth also itself, the earth grows our food. So we wouldn't be able to eat if there was no soil to provide us with the space to grow the seeds that need to be planted within the earth. So this is the earth. Now, water is life. Water is literally life. If you eat food and don't drink water, you eventually probably choke. Water is what keeps us clean. It's what washes our clothes, washes our dishes. It provides a cleanliness to our lives. It also bathes us. Water quenches our thirst, and it makes all of our teas, all of our medicines. Water is behind every medicine. Water is even what grows the food that supplements our bodies. And water is a universal solvent, which can, like I said, be made into any tea, any medicine, anything. Fire is what keeps us warm. Not only is it the fire, the heat in our house, the heat that cooks our food, the fire is also in our hearts. Fire is also the light, the light of our spirit. So we cannot live without spirit, because then we just be zombies, which aren't considered alive. They're actually considered dead. Zombies, fire, within this fire is your heart, fire is your blood. Okay, without blood circulating, there is no life. But even beyond that, without fire, without spirit, without the essence and the flame, this body is not animated. The reality is not animated. Fire is very important. And then the air. Of course, you know that you can't go more than 3 minutes maybe without breathing. There are breathing hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of breathing exercises that actually help oxygenate the blood. Even going for a run, you're breathing in a way and you haven't before, and this allows you to experience some more of a euphoric experience where you're expanding your awareness and consciousness through breath. Remember now, so we all know if you're not breathing, there's no life. And this is why air is so important. This is why nature is so important, because the air is what animates us as well. So actually, all of these elements animate our existence. All these elements are not actually separate. They're actually all working together. They appear themselves as individual forms in order for us to understand different parts of ourselves. Because all of these elements, of course, are within us. Even in the body, you eat, you put it inside. You put the earth inside. Even with water you drink, you put it inside. Even the air in through the nose. Even the fire is in your blood. Um, and all this. Everything is inside you. So this is the fundamental teaching that we're going to explore here today. And this is the primordial blueprint again. Now this blueprint is what takes all directions into consideration for our well-being, because in life we are experiencing a lot of different experiences. Some experiences that are healing us, some experiences that seem like they're burning us, some experiences that seem like they're setting some sort of structure in our life, some experiences that seems like we don't know where this thing is going to go, and they're all based on all the fire, earth, air, and water that emanate from the middle. Now if I were to draw you a chart right here, very simply put, I have one already drawn here. We're not going to go too into this chart right now. I just want to show you. It's very simple. God is within you. Creation is within you. The light of God is within you. So if you look at this very simply, here what you have, for example, you have the north, which is the air. You have the east, which is the water. You have the south, which is the earth. And you have the west, which is the fire. Now we'll get more into this at a different part of the video, but they all emanate from the middle. They all spring out from the middle. All directions, all elements, all sides come from the middle, and they're actually all going back to the middle, because they are only coming out of the middle to teach us something. We are just here to learn something. And I want to say that this is already something we know, but we have signed up to become students again of this life. And throughout our history and the age that we're coming out of, which is the Kali Yuga, which is the dark age, which is the age of deception and ignorance, where humans are not aware of their connection to the source, to God, to Creator within them. And so they worship other gods that promise them God. This is the end of that. This is the end of having to worship or kiss someone else's feet or bow down to someone else's feet because do you think they're showing you God? If they were actually showing you God, then they would they would teach you that it is within you, and it is all the answers are in your life experiences. So we're ending the age of needing some sort of guru or external teacher when you are the guru, and God has already put his light inside of you. It is not coming from the outside. We may need a reminder from the outside, but ultimately we are to go inside. We are to go inside to really find the source and whatever we want to call it, but knowing that it is inside of us. And may we no longer be deceived in this way where we feel like we have to search outside of ourselves, because the experiences are actually in this earth realm that we're in. You did not come here to this planet to find the answer in someone else. You came here on this planet to find the answer in your own experiences in your environment, in your surroundings, in and around you. So what did the ancients teach? What did the ancestors teach us? Well, those that were connected to the word earth, which actually all indigenous cultures around the world were connected to the earth. Whether you're Druid or Celtic, they had the connection to the earth and to the forest. Whether you're Native American, I mean, you're connected. Whether you're Mountain South America, connected. Whether you're out in the East Desert, you're connected because you know the essentials that are needed for your life. This is about knowing what we actually need to be able to exist to our fullest potential. It is not about anything else than that. It's just that. It's just that. And knowing that God is within you. And that's why we will always meet at the center. Because we're coming out of the center and we're walking. And then we find this teacher. We find this element. We find this experience. And we go to grab that experience, to collect that experience, and then bring it back inside of us. So whatever we're experiencing, we have to gather it and connect it back into ourselves. So, what is the Primordial Blueprint? This is the video for that. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. This is the first video we have made on the Primordial Blueprint, and I'm so honored and thankful that you have decided to join us here today to look deeper into what our offering is for you and this entire planet. I'm Primal Sun, and we are the Primal Sun Foundation. Thank you so much.